What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, hanging out with me tonight, man. Listen, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a lot. That's how most of these videos are going to be from here on out. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a lot. Let's start with this idea of grounding. Have you ever heard of this grounding or earthing? There was a gentleman that really brought this to the mainstream attention, right? There's a whole documentary on it. You can look it up. It's called Grounding or Earthing or something like that. But if you've never heard of this, you've heard other people talk about it just in different ways. Like a lot of spiritual people on social media will tell you all the time, right? Make sure you're getting out into nature, right? Why? Why do they want you to get out into nature so bad? Huh? Well, this has something to do. I want to explain it to you using this language of grounding. Okay, so grounding essentially is just putting your naked feet on the naked earth, right? And this is a healing technique. There's some science to back it, right? It says basically that the earth has I believe positively charged ions that your body is depleting throughout the day. And so if you can put your feet out in the dirt, in the grass, then the earth gives you these positively charged ions back, refreshes you, can do things like heal certain inflammation, pains like headaches sometimes, right? This can provide aid or relief. Now, the science behind it, the whole idea behind this grounding is that basically you and I and everybody else that lives in this technologically advanced world, we're constantly being bombarded, being slapped around by various foreign electrical signals, like the ones that come from this cell phone or from this light right here, from the power lines, from my computer, from my TV, all of these things, right? And so your body has this natural frequency, right? And all day after you're bombarded with these things, they sort of change and interfere with your body's natural frequency. So your body is electric, okay? Your nervous system, right? What you're doing all of the time is gathering sense input, right? You're gathering information from the external world through your five senses, right? And this information is taken in by the body, by the nervous system, right? Where it is translated into electrical impulses. These electrical impulses travel through the nervous system to the brain, where they are interpreted and then presented to you in what we hope to be an accurate depiction of reality. So essentially, what is being said here is that these foreign electrical impulses are changing your body's natural frequency and could be messing with this, what we hope to be an accurate depiction of reality. So they can almost cause delusions of the mind, change the way you view reality, okay? And this is extremely true from not just the scientific standpoint of the actual electricity affecting your body, but when you watch the TV, when you're on social media, or when you're playing video games, these things are giving you a false representation of how the world really works. You see? So when you get out into nature, like all of these spiritual guys are telling you on YouTube to get out into nature, to find yourself, what's really going on is when you go out into nature, all of that falls away. That delusion that you got from the TV, from CNN or Fox or ABC or whatever it is that you're watching, right? Or from the Facebook or TikTok, it gets rid of all of these false delusions from your mind. And you see reality how it is. Perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. Somebody just tried to convince you that there was something wrong with it. You see what I'm saying? Now, I discovered something about grounding myself, okay? Grounding, what you're doing, touching the earth. But there are three other elements, right? You have earth, air, water, and fire. These are the four basic elements that create all things, okay? And you by yourself have all four of these elements. The earth, you came from this thing. What do you mean? Right? You're a part of nature. You came from the earth. You know what I mean? You are a creature of the earth. Earth is your home. You come from it the same way the grass grows from it. So you have earth in you, right? Water, this is basic information, right? We all know that your body is made up of 75, they say, percent water. And it's not just a coincidence that the same amount of water makes up the totality of earth as well, right? So you have water in you and you have earth. Now air, this is another obvious, you live in the air. You live in the air, you breathe it in. Like a fish breathes water, right? You breathe air, air is in you. Marcus Aurelius says air, like the spirit, is gulped in and vomited out every instant, right? So you have air. So now you know you have earth, water, and air in you. And the fire is in you too. This is the spirit. This is what is making your body heated, temperature, right? You have a temperature, what is it? 98.5 degrees normally, right? You have an internal body temperature. There is heat inside of you. There is a sun inside of you. Solar plexus, you see? Solar plexus. There is a heat, a fire inside. So you already have these 4 elements. But this technology can mess with the levels of these elements, right? And mess how they're interacting with each other. So when you get away from all of that, you can be replenished. These elements, they're like levels in a video game, right? Sometimes they drop over time, and there are ways to and gain more energy, okay? So this is what I figured out. Grounding is just going outside and putting your feet in the dirt. But what I've been doing for the last 3 days is going down here and sitting in the lake. For like 10 minutes to 30 minutes for 3 days straight. I've been doing this, sitting with my butt in the shallow water on the bottom of the lake with my feet down there, right? So I'm connected to the earth, but I'm also submerged in water, right? And I'm also half in the air. And I'm also in the direct sunlight when I'm doing this, right? So I'm getting replenished in all 4 categories. You're getting replenished in all 4 categories even with just grounding, right? Even by just grounding, you're getting all 4 categories, but it can be intensified by doing something like this, a spiritual exercise like sitting in this lake like I've been doing. And things have been happening for me, okay? Because I'm afraid of water. I don't like the water. I've been traumatized a lot in my life through water. And I'm just afraid of it for no reason, basically. Not for no reason, whatever. But anyway, so I've been sitting in this water and facing my fear, releasing it gradually. And how I'm doing this, right, is I'm sitting in the water, and when the waves come, I'm imagining that each wave that hits me is absorbing my fear. And then each wave that goes out is taking that fear away from me. And not just my fear, I'm sending out all sorts of good intentions into the world, right? I'm actually asking for forgiveness from the fish that are in the water, because I used to fish them, catch them, and kill them, right? So I'm asking for forgiveness, and I'm accepting. I'm sitting here and appreciating the world around me, because what is spirituality if it is not an appreciation for the world that you live in? Even the small things, even the bad things, right? We know that spirituality, this means strength through struggle or discipline. Sometimes discipline is so important in this spiritual world that you live in. Okay, discipline. I've been working out. You can't tell because I'm so skinny, right? But I've been working out for like 3 weeks or so. And this is a spiritual exercise for me. And I talk to other people who work out. They just simply call it working out or exercising, and that's cool. But for me, it's a lot different. For me, I call it training. I'm not working out. I'm not exercising. I'm training. Why do I use this word? What am I training for? I don't know. Anything. I want to be ready for anything that life could throw at me. I'm training. I'm not just training my body to try to get some muscles. This is a discipline. Right? It takes real self-discipline to get out here every night and work out. It takes discipline to go out every day and sit in the lake, face my fear. And this discipline, you say, okay, just working out, just training like this during a workout, what is this going to do for your spirituality? Right? Well, I'm exercising. The same way when those waves come in, I'm exercising my feelings, my emotions, my traumas, right? Everything from my past life. I'm just exercising it out, focusing on it, right? This is what's happened. So I call it training. Training. I'm training. Everything is spiritual. Yeah, sure, I'm working out. Sure, I'm exercising, but I'm also training in self-discipline, in my spirituality through exercising. You see, discipline is an important thing. Last thing I'm going to leave you with is a question. Please answer it in the comments. I'm super interested in your answer. It's a question, okay? So, pilgrimage. A pilgrimage is like a trip. You take a trip, like a lot of people take pilgrimages to their homeland, right? Like wherever their nationality or whatever is, or I don't know the words, right? But wherever they're from, their families from, a pilgrimage is sometimes going back to this homeland. A lot of the times, because pilgrimages are not that popular in Western culture, they're beginning to be, but a pilgrimage also could be when you go to see a teacher, someone who is exalted as a spiritual leader, right? So you go on this pilgrimage to meet your master teacher or whatever, right? Like, so when Jesus was alive, a lot of people, whether they believed or didn't believe, they still got in line. They still went on this pilgrimage to go see. Now, a lot of people, they talk about having this experience, right? Of like, let's say you have a favorite author and you feel like you know the author or the musician. You feel like you know the musician through their music. You feel like you know the author through their book. But a lot of people, when they actually meet their favorite artist or their favorite author, are sorely disappointed, right? You go meet your favorite author and it turns out the only thing that they can do is write. Other than that, they mess up everything. They're socially retarded. They're drunk all the time. They're not even interested in talking to you. They're just a complete asshole, but their books are really good. Some people are shattered by this experience, right? This is how it is for a lot of people. They go meet this person and then they're disappointed. So here's the question. Let's say two people go on a pilgrimage to meet this spiritual teacher. Let's say you have two people that go to meet Jesus. One is disappointed. One leaves with his head hung down, says, man, if he wasn't the real deal, there is no such thing. You see? But the second one goes and sees Jesus and experiences a miracle. What's the difference between these two people? What's the difference between the one who was disappointed and the one who experienced a miracle? Answer that in the comments. And until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.